Hey everyone, welcome to this part 2 Unshakable Living on Credit. So again, the previous one we talked about the shakeable state of if you don't have your credit under control, you have bad credit, you have high interest, and you can't pay it off, how that's going to keep you in a shakeable state financially because you are going to drown in interest. Get you to that unshakable side, pay those off. How to improve your credit, all in part 1. So if you missed that, definitely go back and get that, view it, listen to it. Get the book, the class, read chapter 3. It's all in there on it. Today, on this part 2 of the credit, we're going to talk, once you have that under control, how to take advantage of it. There's actually ways that it can be profitable for you when you have good credit and you can pay it off in time. So how does this work? Well, let's take a look back at our house that we have out of the class. And down at the bottom, we even talked about it. In the debt area, a lot of times people think credit card debt is bad. And in reality, once you get it under control, this can become a good debt to have. So how do you take it from bad to good? Once you go and have everything lined up and your credit score is excellent, you pay everything off, and you have the means to pay off a full bill if you put everything on a credit card on a monthly basis, now start to find ways to take advantage of it. Plenty of places offer points. If you like traveling, there are hotel credit cards, there's airfare credit cards. One in particular, I'll give you an example, Southwest Airlines. I travel on that quite often. I saw they usually have a promotion for 40,000 points if you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months. Every now and then, they come up with a better promotion. The better one that came out was, we're doubling that. 80,000 points. If you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months on the credit card, we'll give you 80,000 points for travel. So what I do, I took a look, said, well, what does that equate out to being? When I looked at it, 20,000 points was equivalent to right around $270 for an airline ticket on Southwest. Take that 20,000, obviously they offered 80, so I multiply that out. We now have over $1,000 of free airline travel if I use their credit card and spend $5,000 in the first 3 months of opening it. Basically, I spend $5,000, they give me over $1,000 of travel that I'd have to pay for if I didn't take advantage of this. Do the math on that. That's a great rate of return on my money, especially if I'm going to be spending that money anyways. Here's the catch. You can't let the interest get you on those. You have to pay it in full every single month. But what I do in that is say, okay, if I spend on average about $3,000 or $5,000, whatever it is, $3,000 a month on random bills that I would use a credit card for. I go in, put all those on that for the first 3 months until I hit that $5,000 mark, make sure I pay it in full every single month. Now I get my points. Now I can go ahead and utilize that travel of an extra $1,000 that they kicked out. Great way to take advantage of it. Second one, there's a lot of them out there that offer cash back. Make sure you read through it, find the ones. There's ones out there currently 5% cash back on unlimited purchases. So again, let's say I'm spending $5,000 a month that I could put all through one credit card. That's $60,000 a year. If I get 5% cash back, I get $3,000. So again, on my normal spending, that's another big part of this. Don't overextend yourself and spend more in order to get that. If it's the regular spending you have, go ahead and utilize it. But now I got 5% back, which is $3,000 for doing the exact same thing I was going to do anyways on my regular spending. Last side of it, 0% cards. If you can get a 0% interest rate card, which they're offered all over the place. I see them, plenty of them for 12 months, a lot of them for 18 months. Some are even pushing the envelope of 20 to 24 months at 0% on any new purchases. Here's an example of it. We have our place up north. We wanted to get a nice UTV to take the family out and ride around. Go to the dealer, start looking at these. When we find the one we like, the dealer comes up and he goes, great, hey, good news, it's only $400 a month for a payment. And I said, well, what's the interest rate on that? He goes, oh, it's actually pretty good. It's at 9.99%. 9.99% is not a good interest rate, at least in my mind, if I'm paying it. If I'm earning it, I like that. But if I'm paying it, not at all. I want to pay as close to zero, if not 0%. Nice thing here was I could get a credit card for 18 months at 0%, no fees on this one, so no annual fee whatsoever. I went in and said, great, tell you what, I will just buy this outright. Here's the card, put it on there. And now I actually have 18 months to still pay that off, so I could leverage my assets in other areas. But as long as I pay it off in that time frame, I paid 0% interest on it versus the 9.99, and I was still able to leverage my other assets instead of paying it all in a lump sum for 18 months over that time frame. Big catch on this. Make sure you schedule your payments to pay it off in the 18 months. In this example, if it was 18 months, I would actually strongly recommend plan it out to be paid off in full in 17 months. Give yourself a little window in case you need to do that. But again, now I can take advantage of the credit card side. And on top of it, there are some 0% that also offer cash back. So if I got cash back on it, technically I just lowered the payment on that new UTV that we purchased. Last area is when you're looking at credit and wanting to take advantage of it. My rule of thumb, if it's 4% or less on borrowing, so things like mortgages, cars, I'd say credit card, there's so many at 0%, don't even bother with that. But mortgages, cars, maybe some personal type loan, 4% or less, there's a good chance you can actually make this utilized for you in a strong way of saying, okay, let's take this money out and let's utilize it so we can actually have a larger lump sum to be investing, doing something else. If it gets above 4%, most of the time, I say pay that one off in full as fast as possible or don't even borrow it. So 4% or less is that threshold. Again, preferred 0. And then also check what are the returns on things, what are the cash back, what do they have out there. Same things with mortgages on your home. There is a benefit if you borrow on that and have a low interest rate. The interest you pay can be a deduction for your taxes. Talk to your accountant on that. But then overall, you actually have an even lower interest rate because of those deductions. Now, I'm not saying go get a mortgage if you don't need it, because having 0 debt is an ideal situation. But if the interest rate is low enough and you can leverage that money somewhere else, take advantage of your good credit and the credit they allow you to take at a low interest rate. That's it on credit. Hopefully a lot of this is hitting you where knocked out the bad and now take advantage of the good. When you get there, let's make sure you're getting the maximum out of it so that way, again, you can have the unshakable finances when it comes to credit. See you next time.